welcome back to my channel. I'm Naomi and this is Sew Nao, where I talk all things sewing. Thank you to everyone who subscribed so far. I'm really grateful and it's lovely to share my videos further afield. If you haven't subscribed, please do. You can click the subscribe button and like and comment. I love to hear what you think, so it's always lovely to chat with people in the comments. So today I thought I'd catch up at one of my latest makes and yeah, just have a bit of a chat today. I haven't been making an awful lot. I've been back at school teaching and one thing and another, been a bit busy, but starting to get a little bit more time to sew, so that the plans are starting to happen and yeah, take over a little bit. So my planning is a bit all over the place at the moment. You can see my board I started working on. My brain feels really full. I don't know whether anybody else gets this, but I started making some kind of cozier winter items, and then we've booked a holiday for February. So suddenly the things I'd stopped making for the summer, I kind of now thinking, oh, I'll make again. So I'm kind of torn between these summer and winter garments. So you might see me making a mix of both. So yeah, I'll talk you through those in a minute. But yeah, my board is a bit of a mixture of winter and summer things. I should say today, I'm not terribly dressed up, but I always have to wear a bit of ready to wear. I'm wearing a t-shirt made in fabric from Material Girl Laura, who doesn't have her shop anymore, but I love this jersey fabric, and it's a Wendy Ward pattern. So I actually grabbed the book before I started. It's this one, Sewing with Knitted Fabrics, and I think this book is amazing. It has some really good helpful tips, not the obvious, you know, just the basic stuff, but some really good tips for sewing with knitted fabrics. Anybody who doesn't feel that confident, or anybody who does, this is a really good book. I love this one. Yeah, and it's like a basic t-shirt, and I'm wearing a ready-to-wear cardigan. I don't buy much ready-to-wear anymore, but I did spot this and thought, oh, I love that colour, so I bought this. If anybody follows me on Instagram, you'll notice I'm having a bit of a rant about this. I don't understand why all these lovely colourful cardigans have these brown buttons on them. It's just not my thing, so I'll probably be changing those like I am with another blue cardigan that I bought. I do knit, but I can't knit fast enough, and I needed a few little cardigans. So yeah, I just love this colour, and it's really miserable outside, so this makes me feel a little bit brighter. I should say this cardigan is from Zara. Yeah, I don't buy a lot of ready to wear. I don't really even go into shops much, apart from like getting ideas for making my own things. But yeah, this caught my eye, so had to come home. Yeah, so it has been not a lot of sewing this past month or so, or a couple of weeks. I think I shared 2 things that I was going to start sewing, and I didn't get very far with those before I stopped. So there's a little bit of my Valley dress. I'll share a picture of it here. It's the Patron Fantastique, but I think I will continue making this because you know what, the colour is making me really happy. It's a beautiful fabric from the rag shop, and it will come on holidays with me because it's, yeah, beautiful light dress. So I'm going to keep working on that one. It may be a pick up put down type one, but yeah, I mean, that in this weather can't help but cheer you up, so I will continue with that one, so I'll keep you posted on that one. And the other thing that I was working on and I just cut out was this coat, the vintage coat. So I'm making this version here with the kind of rounded edge on it. Limited instructions. I'm making it in this blue wool. There's a little bit of it there, and I decided I'm going to try and get the lining out of this lovely cotton lawn that I bought from the rag shop, and they still have it, so I might order a bit more if I need it, but I'm going to try and squeeze it out of that. But that's lovely soft cotton, which I really want to make a top out of, and I might get a bit more, but yeah, that's going to be the lining for that one. If anybody's interested in following the making of a vintage coat with limited instructions. There will be, it's lined, it has kind of welt style pockets, yeah, and gathered cuffs. If anybody's interested in that, I could kind of film bits and pieces of that, so let me know if you'd like to see that, because yeah, I can share stages of making that one. And it is my first lined coat, so it'll be a journey of discovery for us all. So the other thing I wanted to ask was, I'm currently trying to kind of clear out, if you saw on Instagram, I had took out all my fabrics yesterday. I haven't got a huge stash of fabrics, to be honest. I try to work through what I've got. I've got a few pieces, and I tend to keep them up on my board, any main pieces up there in the corner, and I then match those pieces to passions as I go. So kind of passion fabrics that I've got that are big enough to make things from, I kind of keep on my board. But I was wondering if anybody would be interested in a tour of my sewing area, because it's in our bedroom. As soon as I've got it a little bit more sorted, I could do that. So let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in seeing that. Yeah, I think having a clear out has helped. I sometimes feel like I've got too many ideas in my head and I can't order them and decide what I'm going to do. And at the moment I've got, as I said, the winter and the summer makes, but then I also started going off on a tangent of wanting to embroider a dress, and I've got some knitting projects, and it sometimes feels like if I don't get them out of my head and order them, then yeah, it can feel a little bit stressful. So a little bit of ordering yesterday and a bit of clearing out, and I don't know, does anybody else feel like sometimes there's just too many projects in your head? So I'll show you a couple of things I'm going to be working on, but they may change because that's how my brain works. But I'll show you those in a minute. The other thing I wanted to share with you today was my latest make. I have made the zero waste gather dress from Birgitta Helmersson. Try that again. Birgitta Helmersson. Birgitta Helmersson. I think I've got it right that time. Does anybody else have that thing where you look at a word or names and don't actually read it properly, so it doesn't go in properly? But yeah, reading it off screen. But yeah, I really loved this one. So a little while ago, Fabric Godmother got in touch to ask if I would like to be one of their ambassadors, and I mean that's an email that every sewist dreams of. And of course I said yes, and then the next thing was to choose some fabric, which was really hard because it was their whole collection of their own fabrics. And I had to narrow it down to 3 choices, and I got my favorite choice, which was this one. It is a viscose twill, the softest fabric. I do love a viscose twill because it's that kind of fabric that you can wear in the autumn winter and still have that lovely flowy dress, but just a little bit more weight to it. And it's so soft, so soft. Can't stop touching it. And it's their zebra print yellow and lilac, and this comes in 3 colors. So they've got a pink and red, and then a more kind of natural kind of white, off-white and black. But this, I love lilac, and with the orange, I mean the cardigan was a little bit of a, I was wearing this when I bought it, but yeah, I love these colors together. And part of the offer was to choose a pattern as well, and I've wanted to make the zero waste gather dress for a while now, and I thought this would be the perfect combination. So they sent me, it's actually a PDF. There isn't a paper pattern with it. It comes just as PDF instruction pack, and it's a really interesting pattern. So one of the reasons that I really like the pattern and all of her patterns is the idea is zero waste. So the pattern will show you how much fabric you need. In this case it was 2.6 meters, and then that fabric is broken up into different pieces and you use every single bit. So even the selvages are used, so there's absolutely no waste. And I love the idea that with all of this clearing out, you know, I'm finding boxes of fabric with tiny pieces in them because I don't want to throw them out. I don't put fabric in the bin. It's trying to find somewhere to recycle it. So the idea of not having any of that when you finish is really, really lovely, and it just sits really well with me. So yeah, hence the choice of the zero waste gather dress. I won't show you pictures of the pattern and stuff because it is something that's probably easily, you know, if you see it, it's easily replicated. There's probably copyright issues around that. But what I will say is that the instructions for cutting are basically a series of cuts that you make. So you lay out your fabric and it has stages of cuts. So cut 1 is one way, cut 2, and you cut all these basically rectangles and squares from your fabric. There are 2 tiny pattern pieces to cut out as well. And then what I would say, one tip is every time I cut out a piece, I put a little paper label on it as to what that piece was, because they all look very, very similar. Make sure you label all your pieces as soon as you cut them out. Also, they have got notches, but what I also did was I put a pin at the top of each. So every time I cut a piece, I put a pin at the top of that piece so I knew which way round it was. Obviously, if you've got directional print, you don't need to do that, but with mine, it wasn't. So that was kind of my handy tip. I should also mention that the dress is in 2 sizes, and it's a very loose fit. I mean, you know, you can see, I'll pop a picture of it here. You can see, you know, it's got a rather large bodice. The style of it is very oversized. So I fitted into the first size. I'll pop the size range along the bottom because I'm not sure. Kind of think it goes by bust size, but there are 2 sizes and you buy 1 size. So I was sent the first size, so you can choose the first or the second, but yeah, I easily fit into the first size. And I'm usually most patterns kind of 16 to 20 at the bottom, so kind of, yeah, grading from 16 to 20. So yeah, it works really well for my size. There are a number of what they call hacks, but variations. So the main dress has got like a less gathered sleeve, but you can cut it slightly differently, lose the pocket piece and make a larger sleeve with gathers and a cuff, which I did because bigger sleeve, of course. But luckily, Fabric Godmother had sent me a little bit more than the fabric I needed. So I used a little bit extra to create pockets. So I used the pocket size, what they would have been, to add pockets as well, because we need pockets. And I also used a bit extra nothing went to waste. I used a bit extra to cover my buttons because I couldn't find buttons that matched, I was happy with the tones of the colours. The colours are quite unusual. So yeah, I covered my own buttons. There is also an option to just have buttons to here and the skirt at the bottom not to have this button band all the way down. I just liked the idea of the buttons all the way, but you can do without as well. So there's that option too. Bits about this pattern to think about. The pocket, the way it works on the design, the pocket is caught at the top of the bodice, so it's quite high. So when I've gone to put my hands in my pockets, it's quite high up. When I make this again, would make the opening a bit longer, make the pocket deeper if I had enough, if the fabric worked. If I had a little bit extra. I know it goes against the zero waste, but if there was, or use another scrap fabric and add a bigger pocket, so something else, so to not be wasteful, because you know the whole point of this is to use what you need. But yeah, I would make the pockets a bit lower down, or at least a bit deeper. The other thing, and it is mentioned in the pattern, is attaching the button band. It can kind of stretch out a little bit, so the button band is attached from the back, brought around the front and top stitched, and they suggest, if that's tricky, to do it the other way, which I think I would do next time, being that the viscose is a little bit kind of drapey and shifty anyway. This was a little bit tricky, but yeah, I mean, it worked out in the end, but it just took a little bit of time. And with viscose twill, you need to be careful about unpicking it, because sometimes if the threads come out, it can kind of show on the print, and you can get these little areas where the threads are missing, and it shows up as little white bits. So yeah, just had to be careful with that. But I loved making this dress. I think to do something really different, not have all the pattern pieces, just measuring, you know, and measuring again to be accurate. The one time it went slightly wrong was when my husband came in and started talking to me, and I think I cut something the wrong side. Anyway, yeah, I cut piece out the wrong bit, and it was easily fixed. But because I had a little bit extra, and I used that for the pocket instead. But other than that, it is just really interesting to work in a different way, and I really enjoyed making it. I am going to make another one. I have some of this nice chambray that I bought in Ditto Fabrics, and I'm thinking that I'm either going to make another zero waist, or maybe the Lyra dress from Tilly and the Buttons. I'll pop it here. I'm not sure, but I definitely want to make another one of these, because they just feel so swishy and lovely, and great kind of autumn winter dress, and then you make it in something really light and it's a beautiful summer dress. But what I was thinking with chambray, because it's quite simple, I want to have a go a little bit of embroidery. So on the bodice, or maybe kind of here, a little bit of embroidery. Not sure what yet, but I'm gonna have a look at that, and maybe, yeah, kind of see where it would work, but on this dress or a different one. So quite a simple dress, but with some embroidery. So other planned makes, my last video I shared my Betty trousers. So these are the Betty trousers from Fibremood, and I love these. I'm going to show you the line drawing just here. You can see that they've got this really unusual kind of yoke around the waistband, and the pockets are set in a bit lower. I love these. The fit of them is amazing. I made one little alteration, and they fit really, really lovely. So I had some very thick blue cord in my stash for ages. It's not the best quality, but it's been there for ages. I think I bought it to make something for my boys. I'm not sure, it's a narrow width. I'm not sure if I've got enough, but I'm going to try, see if I can get them out of that to make another pair of autumn winter trousers. But yeah, if not, it'll be something for the boys, but hopefully I can get another pair of those out, because they are really, really nice. Yeah, so the only one I've got to share with you is I need to make some tops, and you know, kind of, you can make plain tops, but I always get a bit bored making plain stuff, and I do need some basics. So I spotted this, the Tazzy T-shirt, I think it's called, and it's from Laura PR. She's a designer from the Netherlands, and at the moment, I think until the end of October, I think the pattern is free, and then it'll be €4, but it's free to download at the moment. She also has a blouse version, which is beautiful, and I think I'll make it another stage too. But it's a lovely top, you can see here, with pleats in the top of the sleeve, and I just love it. I have some simple grey jersey from Ditto Fabrics that I just wanted to make some basics with, but I think I'll use it for this. So I will see if I've got enough, and then if I do, I'll be making this one. So I have got more fabrics on the way. Part of my Fabric Godmother ambassadorship, is that a word? Was once I finished and I posted, they offered to pay me, or to have a bit more value in store credit. Guess what I took? So I have got some lovely fabrics on the way from Fabric Godmother to share with you. So on my next video, hopefully they'll have arrived, and I can share those with you and share my plans for them. I've got some kind of passions up there with no fabric attached to them because they're kind of waiting, and it might change, and I'm not sure yet, but kind of got one jumpsuit, skirt, not sure. I've got one for a blouse, possibly a skirt, and I've got, oh, possibly going to make the Petula blouse from Republic de Chiffon. I've had it on my board for ages, and I've got this green fabric with it, but I might use one of the ones that's coming. If anybody's made it, I'd love to know what you think. It's a really nice, I'll put a picture here so you can see it a bit better. It's got all this gathering along the yoke and down the sleeve, and it was something that ages ago when I was doing my diploma, I designed a blouse as part of my fashion illustration module. I designed a blouse with all this gathering, and I was thinking that one day I would make it, and then I came across this passion. So I've been wanting to make it for ages, and it's a little bit summery, but I think with a long sleeve top underneath that I get away with it in the winter. If anybody's made it, I'd love to know what you think, but I think it's a really beautiful, delicate kind of blouse, and the fabric I've got coming might work really, really well for it. So that's all my plans for the moment. I have got a couple more hours before I have to go and collect my boys. At the moment, I'm not teaching sewing so much. There hasn't been as many classes for me, so I am actually getting time now to sew at home and hopefully make more videos. But I'd love to know what kind of things you found helpful. You know, do you want to see more of those kind of sew along things, like doing this? I mean, this, obviously you're not going to have this design, but I can go through how I do the welt pocket, how I lined the coat, and yeah, just if that is helpful, please do so, because it's, you know, it's quite a lot of filming. But if people are interested, then I will go ahead with doing that while I make it. I'm probably going to do a little bit of this today. Although I have got sitting in front of me, you know, do I go summer? Do I go winter? So maybe alternate both. So yeah, let me know what kind of things you'd like to see, because it's good to kind of do things that you enjoy watching. And hopefully be back very soon with another video. I'll do my fabric haul next time. Haul, it always feels a bit, I'll share my fabrics next time that I've got, show you any progress on my makes. But yeah, if you'd like to see sewing room tour when I can get this all sorted out, or a bit of coat making, could even break it into smaller videos or something else, let me know. And yeah, take care everybody. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, as always ask, and those of you that have, again, thank you so much. I'm really grateful. See you soon. Happy sewing.